All right, welcome to the first episode in 2024 of Big Head Small Cap Investing. Um, I have just gotten back from vacation. You can tell I look relatively disheveled. This is my vacation vibe, but I have a ton to update you on. So let's get right to it because a lot happened. I didn't create any videos, but a lot happened this winter break. So last video I made was I guess in like the 18th of December, something like that. I think maybe, no, excuse me. Maybe right around the uh, 25th or 24th or something. I think I might have made a video. Anyway, it doesn't matter. All right. And at the time, I thought, well, nothing's going to happen. It's the holidays. It's going to be totally boring. But I was completely wrong. So, first of all, what happened was GigaCloud totally took off. We were driving to Telluride to go skiing on the 28th, and it was sort of 15, 16, and blew all the way to 18. So I sold the whole position. I sold all these things at 18. But then it just kept running. It just kept going. In fact, it's still going. So I waited. I got back in at 18. It bounced around a little bit. I got back in at 18, and then I sold that at 20.6. And now it's like 23. But I don't think I'm going to chase it because if I go in here and I put in GigaCloud 23, it's just not that cheap anymore. You've got that 6.4 EV to growth rate, which again, I mean, I love GigaCloud. It's like tearing it up. It did what I think is going to be a good acquisition. It's going to keep this growth rate up for at least the next year, although it won't be completely organic. So there's an issue there. But nonetheless, it's a phenomenal name. So I could easily keep buying it. But at 23, it's not screaming cheap anymore. I mean, remember we started playing with this thing when it was 13, and back then I had the shares outstanding wrong, so this number was way even lower. But now it's not screaming cheap anymore. In addition, I did end up chasing when I blew out of GigaCloud. I'm like, well, I want to be invested. I ended up chasing Crescendo a little bit, and let me show you what I did there. I'm actually losing money on Crescendo, serves me right. But I bought in 3,000 shares at 480, and I bought in at 450, and I have another 3,000 on order for 420. Though the price right now is 441, so I haven't hit that price. But it ran all the way up to 550. So I feel comfortable in there. Granted, I like Crescendo. I like GigaCloud better than Crescendo, but at 4.41, which is where we are now, yeah, I mean they're sort of the same. I mean Crescendo's growing a little bit faster, purely organic, not throwing off nearly as much cash though, not as profitable, much smaller of a company. So a little bit more reason to be worried, a little bit more potential for the stock to drop pretty rapidly, which doesn't really suit how I trade or how I'm trying to learn to trade. So in any event, I'm losing some money there, but this thing got all the way up to 550. And at 550 again, you're sort of in the 650 range. So for enterprise value to trailing 12 month. So then I started to look for a bunch of other names, and I'm really excited. Let me show you the one I'm excited about. This one, AMLX. I had an order in at 14. I raised it to 1450, but it's just been on a tear. It's almost 17. It's had a lot of people initiate on it. I think it's going to do well. I could easily see this thing again, sort of in the 30 range. It doesn't lose money. It's not making a ton, but it doesn't lose money. It's got great growth potential. though it did have that bad quarter guidance. So it makes me feel like maybe I don't really need to rush after it. Though, I said that about Crescendo. I missed a great opportunity on Crescendo. I sold out GigaCloud too early. So, what the hell do I know? But that's what I'm looking at now. And then the other one I just bought today is Catalyst Pharmaceuticals. And this one, I just think is free near term money, and let me explain why. This thing has been trading. Let me go to the stock ticker. Catalyst Pharmaceuticals. This thing has been trading in the 17 range for the longest time. It was in there all sort of December, January, end of December, January. A lot of exciting, a lot of good things going on. It's a good grower, but they just announced that they're placing another 150 million worth of shares into the public market at $15, and that price is, I think, tomorrow. So then of course the market's going to drop below 15. You have this flood of equity coming in at 15, but that's the only thing that happened between here and here. And so that really shouldn't affect the market price of a company. I know a lot of people think, oh, okay, well, hold on, they're selling at 15. So, all this new equity is going to come in and it's going to affect the demand. And yeah, in a near term, that's true. But the fact is, if the company is worth 17 up here, then once the market has digested this equity, which it will in probably a week or two, it will come back up, or at least should come back up to some degree. I'm hoping to get, I've got 2,000 shares now, so I'm hoping to get back to 16 and make another, if I would make, $3,000 if I went up to 16, if it went up to 16, which is good enough for me. So let's look at sort of how we're doing. We're doing pretty damn good. I'm up 15% since the end of November. I don't want to get a bigger head than I already have, hence the name of the show, Big Head, Small Cap. But I'm feeling pretty good about this strategy of finding names that I think are relatively undervalued and then trading them. Granted, if I had held on longer to GigaCloud, I would have made a lot more money. Like I said, let's look at where it is. It's like 23. I think is where it is. GigaCloud 23. Yeah. But I mean, listen, it was 20 this morning. So I mean, maybe if it drops to 20 again, I'll buy some more and see if I can ride it back up to 23. It's not wildly expensive, but it's not cheap anymore. My biggest hope for this company was to get it to 30. I thought 30 was a fair normalized price. And it ran so quickly to 20. I was just happy to take the money I had gotten and sort of run with it. But if it drops back down, it's burst through the 20 ceiling, so no reason to be afraid of buying it at 20. I might buy it and try to catch a few buck quick trade. But anyway, and then Gravity. Oh, let me tell you what happened to Gravity. Gosh, you just got to be so on the ball if you want to make money investing. It's crazy. I mean, I don't mean make money the way I'm making money. I'm small fry. You don't have to be a genius to make money the way I'm making money. And I'll probably end up losing money. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. But we were chugging along at sort of 70. Let me shorten the chart here. 1 month. Chugging along a little bit above 70. I bought it at 70. I think somewhere like in this dip or maybe even a little bit before. But anyway, I got in at 70. And And then boom, out of the blue, and nothing was happening, nothing was trading, and boom, out of the blue, it drops to 67. I'm like, what the heck happened? Well, China, these guys make a bunch of their money in China on gaming, and this new law came out saying you basically restricting what you can spend online games in China. And so every game company that was even remotely related to gaming in China just took a huge bath. Now, 70 to 68 to 67 is really not that huge a bath, but it felt like a huge bath given it was sort of doing nothing. But again, I mean, the strategy we've got here is one of buying companies that are generating a lot of cash and have a low enterprise value. So this thing had a market value of 466, an enterprise value of 220, and it seems to be throwing off 50 million in cash. Honestly, it makes me think I've gotten something wrong. I should probably do more reading, because remember, I got this wrong with GigaCloud. Maybe I have the share count wrong. I'm going to actually go research that today or do more digging on it. But I think I have the share count right. And if I have the share count right, this company is super cheap. So we'll see. Anyway, that's the update. I am going to dig in a little bit more to gravity right now, because that irks me. Maybe I've got that wrong. I'm going to dig in a little bit more to gravity, and then I'll come back to you tomorrow, see if I've gotten that wrong. If I've gotten it wrong and it's wildly more shares than I thought, we'll update it and we'll probably blow it out because we have a little profit now. So anyway, that's it. That's all I got for the update. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow and let you know if anything exciting happens.